Okay, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here at the Disco Hill in Maghibie County, the safe burial site of the former Ebola victims. And of course, it's here. The LTA usually burn one of the narcotic substances that are arrested from the streets and perhaps across the country. And so today, the 27th of November, we're here again to destroy another huge quantity of narcotic substances, value more than 783 million Liberian dollars. Now, as you can see in the video, these are the hardcore substances, which you have here heroin, you have here cocaine, and some other hardcore substances. Then at the other end there, you also have the huge stockpile of marijuana we're going to be destroying. Now, what we want to say here is that usually when the LDA does their job, people often say that when these drugs are arrested, we recycle them, we carry them back in the community, we do not destroy them. Part of what we do, they are out of a charade. What we want to say here to you is that, as we've always done, our processes are transparent. We've done that in the past. Since this administration under the WLA government adopted a zero-tolerance methodology in our approach towards drug abuse, we have burned drugs repeatedly. Before this administration, we used to burn drugs once in a year. But based on the policy and the will to fight drugs, we've adopted to burn drugs more than once. That means as much as we arrest them across the street, we destroy them. Last year, we burned 3 times and more than 100 million worth of drugs. And this year, in February on the 8th, we burned another huge quantity of drugs, more than 73 million. And today again, we've made another history. It's unprecedented in the history of DEA. For the first time, we are burning over 700 million worth of narcotic substances. And you're here to see it for yourself. Those of you from the television or radio land who are listening or maybe viewing this video, it's important for you to know that the DEA, we are not joking. We've been arresting across the country and we still do more. And again, it's intended to set a caveat to drugs trafficking across the country. This time around, like we stated before, we're repeating ourselves again, we will be more robust. And that by the end of this year, next year, what we're going to be doing again is to make sure that, first of all, we have engaged our partners on the issue of the drug law, which we have viewed as a bigger challenge. And we are hoping that we'll get there gradually. But when that happens, we're going to do more than this. We're going to make sure the issue of drug abuse is not taken lightly, and we'll fight drugs across the country. So these are the evidence of this thing we're going to be destroying. All of these have been tested. They have been viewed from the office of the LDA, where we unload the vehicle, the truck, and we come here on the side. We offload them. You're seeing them. We're going to set them at place right before your very eyes. So we want to say thank you for carrying this live activity of the LDA. And we also want to say thank you. And here again, let me let you know. Usually people say we can do our thing behind the corner. Here at this very side, we have our partners. First of all, we have the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime here, represented by Jose Lopez, who is the UNODC expert to LDA. And we also have the UN Embassy represented here. We have our Director General of DEA, the Deputy Director General for Operations. We also have the West Africa Policy Network on drugs trafficking and abuse here. Our partners here, the Executive Director from Sierra Leone is also here. We also have a whole lot of stakeholders here as well. Other partners that I cannot name, they've also come to grace the occasion, because we believe that what we do is intended, to strike balance and equity. So that's the reason why we've invited all of these people to come and form part of the process to see what we are doing here, so that the people, the world, can get to know that indeed DEA in Liberia, or Liberia as a whole, we are fighting drug trafficking, and we are not joking with it. We'll make sure that this fight will continue throughout the length and breadth of Liberia, so that in years to come, we will save this country and we'll bring peace to our country. So as the process goes on, perhaps if you want to ask questions, the Director General is here. Our partners are here who are monitoring this process. Whatever you want to know about this activity, you let us know and we'll inform you as it unfolds. So again, we want to say welcome and then watch the process as the process goes on. Thank you.
Yeah, do you maintain how these drugs entered into Liberia?
Usually, it is sometimes, from the border, the points of entry, either the land or sea ports, and by some other unscrupulous means. But as far as we're concerned is that wherever they come from, we want to make sure that the issue of drug trafficking in this country will not be tolerated, and will do everything to go after perpetrators.
And where are the smugglers right now? The smugglers.
All of the suspects that were arrested, currently as I speak to you, a lot of them are on pre-trial detention, while fewer of them have been convicted already and are placed behind bars.
Michael, one of the issues we have is the issue of the drug law, the transit between arresting people and carrying them through the court process. You care to speak to the public here as to what the challenges that the DEA has been facing with the court process and the law in general?
Definitely, it's important to note that the DEA faces multiple challenges, and some of which, we continue to experience today that is impeding our progress seriously. First of all, the issue of the drug law, which of course is a billable nature, has seriously affected our job. Let's say, for instance, when these drug suspects are arrested, when they are taken to court, most times they are released on bail. And people will wonder, why are they released on bail? That's because of the law. All right, it calls for a bailable offense. So the judge uses determination and allow the suspect to go on bail. And then we do follow after them. But most times, sometimes our effort is not in line with the term of court. So at the end result, these suspects escape and it doesn't come back again. Now, another thing we also want to stress here is that with regards to the effort we are applying in making sure that there is a change in the perception of this drug law, I think it's on course. Like I earlier stated, is one of our bigger challenges that we've had. And that's the reason why we've engaged the relevant authorities. Like we are in consultation with some members from the Capitol building already, the likes of Representative Thomas Goshua, Rosalind Swakoko Denny, Honorable Milton Church, and the likes of others who are willing to rally support behind the DEA to see to it that the issue of this drug law is being redefined. Because we don't want a situation where a judge will decide on the basis of sentimental feelings or on the basis of what he thinks. We want a clear-cut definition of what the drug law should be that will serve a deterrent and a caveat in our country to would-be perpetrators. Thank you very much. During our press release, we iterated that it is not only in Monrovia. As a matter of fact, the activities today cut across the entire country. The Leeward counties, the inaccessible area, were given mandate to carry on similar exercises as well. So it would be fortunate to see that some other rural media networks are also following them. Like in Lo-Fi County, they already got a call from there that they have begun the process right now. In Grand Crew, in Sino, in River G, all of the counties are moving in the same direction. So it is not a Monrovia-based thing. As a matter of fact, this coincides with our regular drug calendar year, where we observe June 26th every year as World Drug Day. Unfortunately, due to the COVID-19, we could not have observed the activity like this. So we have these drugs kept in our storage. But again, we transition into a new year. So based on that, we have to destroy these substances and to create the caveat to drug dealer that whatever we're doing is not intended as a charade. We are intended to be serious and to make sure that Liberia is a drug-free nation.
Okay.
On February 8th of this year was the first in this year, and this is the second, of which we destroyed more than 700 million worth of drugs.
Yeah, man. My name is Narcotic. And I'm the executive member of the West African Drugs Policy Network. In the past, journalists have reported that the Monrovia Central Prison is the same issue of drug transaction. Now, my question to the DEA is, what role has the DEA played, or what is the intent of the DEA as to battling the issue of the Monrovia Central Prison?
I think we have limitations in expediting our duties. With regards to the issue of prison facilities, I think the Ministry of Justice, through the Correction and Bureau, they control that affair. I can remember once ago, the DEA was invited to do a thorough cleanup of the Monrovia Central Prison, of which we confiscated some huge quantity of narcotic substances. But notwithstanding, we cannot, invade the prison facilities simply because we want to search for drugs. If we must do that, it must be with the acquiescence of the Ministry of Justice as well as the prison minister at the Ministry of Justice. So when the invitation is extended to us, we'll definitely move in and see how best we can do some clearing out that we did with the Monrovia Central Prison.
For follow-up, You are a national entity established by law to take care of the issues of drugs and action everywhere in your bureau. If you say to the public that until a room is opening, an invitation is sent to the DEA, are you telling the public that if that is not done, you leave Monrovia Central Prison as it is with the issue of drugs?
I think we must have a probable cause. And if the issue of drugs abuse is going on in the central prison or prison facility as a whole, we are not magicians to know. Because the first thing, we do not have officers assigned there. So what happened is that it is incumbent upon these authorities to enlighten the DA about a suspected issue or situation of drug cases. That's the only way we can be able to move in and conduct either a clearing out or a possible search. So until that is done, we cannot just cross, our own territorial boundaries or whatever function to move into. Because I agree that the Ministry of Justice or DA is a subcomponent of the Ministry of Justice. But again, when it comes to our responsibility, we do not deal with prisoners or prisons. We deal with the proliferation of drugs abuse and drug crimes across the country at a very high scale.
The food estate is responsible to inform the Liberian people that made that several occasions about the Monrovia Central Prison. Are you not in the know of the daily newspaper?
If I may say I'm in the know, well, I can't be sure of that. But the party is, like I said to you, I think the people who control the prison facility, they need to be, they need to engage the DEA. Like I said to you, we have territorial boundaries. Why it's true that we work together as a state actors, but again, we cannot invade prison facilities. There are protocols there, and there are specific guidelines that govern prisoners' rights. Any attempt for the DA to invade into this prison compound, perhaps it could be a violation of their rights. So we must seek permission first from the Ministry of Justice, or we must be extending an invitation to the Correction Bureau. That's the only way we can be able to move there and carry on any form of search or whatever situation there.
Okay, thank you.